I'm walking out of Laughlin right now. Got about 100 miles to hitchhike to get to Vegas. And then tomorrow, gonna hit a bunch of breweries. All right, I got one ride from a guy with a tow truck. He had a $300,000 Mercedes that he was towing. Got me to Henderson, to the dealership, and so almost Vegas. And I realized I'm only like a half a mile from a pocket of breweries here in Henderson, the Eastgate area. So I know I'm going to like a dozen breweries tomorrow, but might as well hit a brewery now before I continue on to Vegas. Why not? We're here, let's do it. So I might have made some mistakes already. I went to Astronomy Brewing, which was fucking awesome. Had a 17% beer. Here's the problem. I'm not a guy with a bunch of money, and I might have spent too much money already going to Astronomy Brewing and these other breweries. I'm getting a free hotel room because of gambling stuff, but they run your credit card or debit card or whatever you got, and they usually run it for like 100 or 200, 250 bucks. After those last two breweries, I think my balance is either $5 or negative $15. Will that be an issue? So I successfully checked into Harrah's, the free room. I was a little bit nervous because I went to those breweries and I spent some money on a card. And luckily I was able to check in with a card that had negative $8 on it. They even though it's a free room, they still check a card. And they hit it for like 200 bucks. And now my bank account's like negative $250 something. That worked, which is amazing because now I'm pretty sure I can go to all these breweries tomorrow, but not positive. So I checked the money in my pocket and that's $93. So I kind of have to go gamble just to be sure or get screwed. So 90 bucks to gamble with, $3 for drinks, shitty beer, so I can drink good beer tomorrow. Wish me luck. So last night I pretty much realized I wasn't gonna have enough money to go to like the 12, 15 breweries I wanted to go to today. But so I tried to use the cash that I had. I had like 90 bucks, which is still not enough to go to 10 odd breweries, surprisingly, maybe to some. Yeah, I tried to play blackjack with that and then $0. So all I have left is what was in my Venmo account. So Shauna sent me 15 bucks to specifically go to Banger and get their pepper beer and some popcorn. So I'm going to do that. And then maybe head back to Able Baker and at least get some beer in today. And then I'll deal with being broke after that. I'll work it out. Being down to my last tens of dollars. I think back in the day when I first started traveling, I wouldn't be heading to a brewery where I know I'm gonna spend at least 10 or 20 bucks. It's good beer these days. It's hard, almost impossible to not do that. But I've learned over traveling that money comes back. I'm not a skillless guy. I'm a guy with optimism. It's easy to make 100 bucks somehow. I'm not sure how that's gonna happen next, but it's gonna come. And if I don't have fun today, this will forever be a day I didn't have fun. I don't want that. This day did not turn out the way I thought it was going to, but it's better. So I thought I was gonna go to 12 or 15 breweries, and I've only been to 2, but it was great. Met up with some people I've been trying to meet up with for a while. Went over to Banger, got a beer. Someone bought me a hot dog from next door. Don't ask me why. So I'm walking from the strip to Neon Desert Brewery. It's a new brewery to me. I think it's relatively new to Vegas too. Gonna go meet the brewer and figure out what this place is all about. I think the beer is pretty good, so just go make sure. All right, we're good to go. All right. Oh, thanks again for having me here. Pouring some excellent looking beers.
I'm Jimmy Doyle, half owner and brewer here at Neon Desert Brewing in Las Vegas. We've been open about 2 years now, trying to make it through the plague.
Yeah, he said you opened in March 2020.
Yeah, soft open February 29th, 2020. Grand opening going to be March 21st, shut down March 17th. We were able to sell to go. Then a couple of months later, we were able to open, but we could only sell beer as part of a meal. So if you wanted a beer, we had to sell you a grilled cheese for $1. Now, if you finished the grilled cheese, you had to buy another one or you had to stop drinking.
Okay.
So we would take grilled cheese, cut it into fourths, put a toothpick in one, and say, leave that one till you're ready to go.
Yeah. But now, just beer.
Yeah, now we're open and back to full capacity, and things picking up. The first one is Munich Helles. What is it going to be, 108 today? This is the kind of beer.
Yep, I just walked about an hour or so to get here.
Yeah,
so it's extra good.
Yeah, when you're walking down here, you needed a liter of this.
Yeah, this is perfect because it's light, but there's still that maltiness that comes through. It's not like a light beer. So
it's not like a Bud Miller Coors type beer. Actually has flavor.
How long have you been brewing for? More than 2 years, I'm imagining.
Homebrew about 10 years before then.
Okay. So is this your first professional gig?
Yeah.
Cool.
First batch we made here was the first time I'd ever made more than 20 gallons.
Wow.
So
how did it turn out, that first batch?
We actually have, I can give you a taste of it.
Okay.
Because we have, first beer we made was a Imperial Stout.
Heck yeah. That's my style.
Yeah. We saved about 3 or 4 kegs of it so that we could maybe blend some anniversary beers later on.
Oh, okay.
And
so you literally have the first batch.
It is actually I think there are 3 more kegs of actual batch number 1.
Wow. Yeah, that's available to try. I'll definitely.
Yeah, it's actually on tap right now.
Perfect. How did you come up with the name Neon Desert?
Partner, I was actually outvoted. I wanted Neon Oasis, but
that's also good.
They outvoted me.
Yeah.
I thought the worst thing about Las Vegas is it's in the desert, but
Neon Oasis.
And I hate to point that out.
To be honest, I kind of like that better, Neon Oasis. I like the name Neon Desert too, though.
Yeah.
So what do we got up?
The next one is West Coast IPA. It's called Early Out. Not everyone knows the term Early Out. Everyone in Las Vegas does, because working in a casino, everybody wants to leave early every day. And the casinos, they don't want to have extra people there, so everybody volunteers. Everybody wants to early out every day.
I like the name, and it's crisp.
It has some of the more expensive hops, Mosaic, Simcoe, but it's a lot of Centennial.
Okay.
And we try to get it, California ale yeast, try to get it really dry.
Yeah.
So you can drink several.
Yeah. Dry like the desert.
Yes.
But there's definitely a juicy quality there. When you were homebrewing, were you kind of all over the map with what you were brewing?
I wanted it to lead to something like this, so I homebrewed very, very seriously.
Okay.
Temperature control into conical fermenters, grow yeast. If I repitch it, count cells, and
so you were technical from.
Yeah. I brewed a lot. I brewed as much as legally allowed. And
what is that? 20 gallons?
No, 200 gallons a year is the federal limit to brew at home.
Who's keeping track of that? Just you. I guess.
Somebody.
Yeah.
Somebody does. I can show you my homebrew setup is still back there. We do test batches. We grow up our yeast. So we make 20-gallon yeast starters that we make the wort for those on my old homebrew setup. Now this is the hazy IPA. It's a dry hopped with all strata hops.
Oh, okay.
Which kind of my new favorite.
You got the body of a hazy that
Yes.
some hazies these days don't actually have.
Yes,
Hazy name only.
we work hard on that. We have wheat in it and oats and chip malt and we want it to be thick and we want it to be cloudy, hazy, not murky.
Pretty tasty. It's all strata.
All strata in the dry hops, Mosaic, Sabro, and Citra in Whirlpool. This has no hops in the boil.
At all.
None. Put some hops in the mash.
In the mash. Okay.
Then once we boil it for an hour and a half because it has some Pilsner in it. Then we get it down below 180.
Yeah.
And then put in Whirlpool hops, but it has no hops put in above 180 degrees.
What do you reckon you get from putting the hops in the mash?
Oh, you got to read Scott Janish's book, The New IPA. There are other studies in there about how to keep it from being oxidized. Starts in the mash. So we put a couple of pounds of Mosaic in the mash. Makes the brewery smell good too.
That's good. That's a good thing. So what is this one we got?
So this is golden milk stout. Has cacao nibs.
Smell that right away.
Has lactose. This one has vanilla beans. Cut up some bourbon barrel staves.
Cut them up.
Soaking them in bourbon and put them in the fermenter. And it's on nitro. No roasted grains in it, just cold steep coffee.
Yeah, the whole white stout, golden stout intrigued me a few years ago.
Yeah.
So I've gave it a shot once or twice.
Yeah.
Brewing. It's tricky, but it's gratifying.
Yeah.
You got it right.
Yeah. It tastes nothing like it looks.
It's the antithesis of a black IPA, kind of.
Yeah. Yeah. And people that say they don't like dark beers wouldn't like this. This has the dark beer flavors. It's
Right.
not a dark beer.
People say they don't like dark beers. They're just
Yeah.
saying they don't really know much about beer, which is fine.
Yeah.
Everybody's at that point at some point.
Yeah.
But-
Oh yeah, I go through that with people here. I'm behind the bar. Someone comes in and says, "I only drink this, macro lager," and I say, "Oh, really? You don't like coffee?" "Oh, I like coffee." You like chocolate cake?" "Oh, I love chocolate cake."
Try this.
Well, what if I can give you coffee and chocolate cake with 10% alcohol?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you owned a brewery in another dimension and
Yeah.
all your customers were just you,
Yeah.
what would you brew?
Stouts. I would. Half of this room would be filled with barrels.
Nice.
Yeah, that's what I like to make.
I would come to your dimensional brewery.
Yes. While it was horrible for business when we were shut down because of COVID, we didn't know if we would ever open again. But we didn't know, how long it would be.
Yeah.
So we filled up every tank we had with stouts.
Good move.
Doppelbock. We had a Doppelbock, I guess. Maybe a 10% wee heavy. All the rest were stouts. So I had fun during that time. And then once we were able to open back up, people came in. Why do you have 12 stouts on?
We were getting ready for the apocalypse.
Yeah. Yeah. We didn't want to make a bunch of IPAs and then have to dump them out.
Speaking of stouts, it looks like that's what we're about to get into.
Yeah, so this next one is Coconellicon.
Oh,
I was talking about. So this has coconut pecans and vanilla beans in a 10% stout.
It's a little hoppy flavor in there too, like a little hoppy bitterness.
Yeah, we try to keep it from being too sweet.
Yeah.
So it has a lot of hops in it. Yeah, it has 40 pounds of pecans, 40 pounds of coconut, toasted. The pecans are roasted 4 times in the oven over 4 days. Has 200 vanilla beans from 7 different countries.
Really?
Yeah.
You put those all in at the same time? Or you stagger
No, so the pecans we put in the mash.
I was going to ask you, put them in the secondary, and then I just assumed you did, so I didn't.
No, because they're, you know, the oil's in the pecans. If you put them in the mash, it doesn't make it to the fermenter. So, I mean, it keeps a little foam on it.
Okay.
Yeah, this one has hop bitterness. There's some bitterness from the pecans too, but didn't want it to be real sweet.
I appreciate that. Yeah, some of the sweet beers, the big pastry stouts,
which
like
I love them too.
they're tasty, but you never want more than this.
Yeah,
you know?
I can
taster.
Yeah, I can drink several of these. They're balanced enough where I can keep drinking them.
But there's enough vanilla in there too, where it kind of tricks the brain and like anyone's gonna like this beer.
Yeah.
I'd almost say a child would like this beer.
Yeah.
Probably won't.
We hadn't tested that out. But
Yeah. How many of these beers were you working on a homebrew level before you opened up?
Every beer on here, we've made a 10-gallon batch of before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even before you opened, or on like a pilot system?
Well, like if we come up with something new now, we still make a 1 keg batch of it first. So this one is so it's the base beer from this, but without the coconut and vanilla beans.
Okay.
And then put into a rye whiskey barrel for a year.
For a year. Oh wow! So this must have been one of the first things you brewed. In the first year, anyway.
Yeah. This was put into a barrel about December of 2020.
Okay.
And then kegged it in December or January of this year, maybe.
Gotcha.
This is what I like to make.
Yeah. Smell the happiness right away.
And this is what I like to drink.
Yeah. This is my jam too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even when it's 100 whatever outside, it's a little cooler in here.
Yeah, 72 in here.
Yeah.
Yes, if I was sitting out there, I may only want one of these.
But you'd still want one.
But
I'm the same way. Because this to me is just perfection.
It's not what most people think of when they think of beer. But this is, this is what I like to make, what I like to drink.
So is all that vanilla from the barrel?
Yeah.
That's nice.
All this has in it is the pecans.
Yeah, that is delicious.
And
I'm really happy that it's June in Vegas.
Yeah.
And you're still putting this up. Like,
yeah.
That's where I want to be. Because you still have the Hellas on the menu. You've got it covered. It looks like you've got 20-ish beers.
Yeah,
on
20.
tap.
Yeah, and then we have a kegerator with 3 taps on it over there that
Okay. Yeah.
we'll try some of that in a minute.
Yeah.
But we have to be finished with this first.
Yeah. Those are the quieter taps.
You'll see why it has to be the last one.
Yeah.
The palate wrecker. Remember when old Rasputin was the, perfect imperial stout?
Yeah.
When they were roasty and bitter.
Yep.
And before you put donuts and maple syrup and lactose
Fort
and
Bragg,
things in
California.
Yeah. So that's the way we tried to make this.
Okay.
Like a real roasty bitter imperial stout. This is
classic.
From the first batch made here.
Cheers to that. That is incredible. Yeah, that's a classic. That old Rasputin, that was one of my favorite beers for a while.
Yeah.
And I was hitchhiking with my friend Molly up the California coast. And I never knew where they were from. I never knew the brewery name. I just knew I liked that brewery. And we got dropped off in this beach town, and someone said there was a beer festival, but there wasn't. So we were walking, and I'm like, oh, a brewery. Let's walk in and get a drink anyways. And it was North Coast Brewery.
Yeah.
I don't know who they are.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, they have Old Rasputin on tap. I'm like, oh, this is the brewery. This is the motherland.
Yeah. Yeah. Remember when, wow, it's 9%.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that was a huge thing
Yep. Now an Imperial Stout like almost has to be 10, and
Yeah.
you see 11, 12s, 13s, and 17s.
Yeah. 18, 20.
Well, thank you for sharing that one with
So,
me.
yeah, so that was,
Especially.
yeah, the first one, first batch. That's batch 1.
Hell yeah. OG Neon Desert.
Now
There's
here,
only so much of that left to go
yeah.
around.
Now here is
The end.
the palate wrecker. This is the Munich Helles,
Okay.
but then we add some jalapeno, some serrano, some habanero, some ghost peppers, some Scotch bonnet, and Carolina Reaper.
Are you chopping these peppers up?
Yes, chopping them up. They're in
Dicing
the keg.
them?
They're
Are you-
in the keg.
In the keg.
It's not painful like eating a Carolina Reaper,
Okay. Yeah.
but there's some.
I can smell.
Can you?
It smells like the serrano. Some of the jalapeno. It smells like fresh peppers.
And if you just like sip a little sip of it, it like burns your tongue. But if you drink it,
Oh yeah, that would be it for a lot of people.
yeah,
That is a palate wrecker for sure.
yes. But what we do, see on our menu, we do like at a Thai restaurant. If you don't like something hot, order a 3. We blend it with the regular.
Oh, that makes sense because you got the regular Helles. That's
so
cool.
and we have a chart back there and measuring things, and we pour amounts of the 2 and blend them together.
So we're drinking straight 11.
Yeah, this is 11. Yeah.
It burns like a son of a bitch, but just all that fresh pepper smell
Yeah.
makes it totally tolerable.
And I mean, the hot peppers that don't have a lot of flavor. The jalapeno serrano give it enough flavor that you expect the heat before you even taste it, just
Yeah.
from the smell.
I think this might be the spiciest pepper beer I've had.
Yeah,
But it's also
it's
maybe one of, if not the freshest aromas.
because we put those others in, so you get the flavor and the aroma. We had 2 guys here one night just on a bet.
Yeah.
To see who could drink the most. One drank 4, the
God.
other drank 6.
Wow. What a rough night for those guys.
Yeah.
6. Why did it go to 6?
To prove a point.
This is easily the hottest.
Yeah,
beer
if
I've
you're
ever
gonna have a pepper beer, have a pepper beer.
tried. Go for it.
Yeah, like
I can
this.
see having like that limerita thing with a little jalapeno.
Yeah,
But other
yeah.
than that, go for it. Go hard.
Jalapeno Hefeweizen at Banger.
I had that the other day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really good.
It's a pretty delicious
Yeah.
beer. It's almost creamy. It's got
Yeah,
a little body to it.
this is a pepper beer.
This is
It's not.
Yeah.
This is like eating a pepper. It's not painful like eating a Carolina Reaper.
You know who did it on a big level was Stone? The Crime and Punishment. Do you remember those?
Oh yeah.
This is hotter than those.
Yeah.
By a lot.
We're gonna keep making this hotter and hotter until it's undrinkable.
There you go. Well, thanks for all the beers. It was awesome.
Thanks for coming by.
Yeah, thank you. That was that was the best beer to end on.
It's kind of have to end on that one.
Oh.
Yeah,
for
I'll pour you
sure.
another beer now. It'll taste like
Like
peppers.
liquid.
It'll taste like hot peppers.
So my beer's in the storage unit, but once I it's how I'm sanitizer.
Isn't it though?
Neon Desert, Las Vegas. It's been real. I'm on a can. I'm about to drink myself. Thank you guys. Ooh. Cheers to me. Cheers to Vegas. Cheers to Neon Desert. That's perfect. Leaving Las Vegas today, heading to Salt Lake City. Vegas has been a success. It didn't turn out the way I thought it would. It turned out better. So happy days for that. That's the good thing about traveling the way that I do. You gotta leave yourself open to opportunities. When they arise, drink up. That's awesome.